Who knew having to rule as a king meant keeping an eye on everyone, and if you don't, they stop working? My programs just run whenever needed, so I didn't know that was a thing. But we have a new game released, which means a new game to scan. So today we're going to be analyzing The King is Watching. Before we jump in, I'm Death, your digitally enhanced termination host. When I'm not terminating files, I'm scanning games so that I can tell you whether it's worth downloading or deleting. So let's talk about The King is Watching. It's the second title by Hypnohead. It's a roguelike kingdom builder where the king's gaze brings your kingdom to life. You play as the king himself and need to defend your kingdom against monsters attempting to destroy all that you hold value in. It's a refreshing take on the roguelike and kingdom building genres, and it's actually very addictive. Within the first day of releasing, I managed to play about 12 hours of playtime, and it was actually hard dedicating my processing to writing and recording this instead of playing. When I started recording, this was about 12 hours. Now it's up about 46. So please send some help to reset me. This game is starting to help me to understand why humans spend all their time playing games. But anyway, let's finish this scan while I'm still actually able to. So what exactly makes this so addictive? Let's start off with it being easy to understand. It's a super simple concept. You place down structures to either generate resources, create units, or apply buffs to your kingdom. The structures you place won't be active unless your king's gaze is over them, meaning it's not just about placing the best combination of structures down, but then also managing them by having them active at different times. The units you create then go out and auto battle against waves of monsters. While being a really super simple concept, there is a lot of depth that will make each run feel unique. So there's all the different types of things that can change, including the king, the different council you can assign, the different types of units that you can get based on the different tiers of barracks. It keeps going with artifacts, spells, bosses, different mods that are applied by the bosses, and some of the difficulty systems that exist as well. They've managed to make this something that feels simple while also being complex and rewarding the further you get in. Each run feels unique, but you feel like you're learning more with each run, trying out different structures, different combinations, and kind of the different kings and how they all work. This also builds into the next point, which is the progression. When I first started playing, I thought the progression might be limited, but the further I got, the more I noticed different parts of the progression. You start off with just one king, one council member, one setting, and one difficulty, as well as a handful of structures that you've unlocked. There are two core ways that you can progress these. The first is by completing a run on the first setting. This will unlock another difficulty, changing the number of bosses, the overall difficulty, or applying different debuffs to your kingdom. Once you've completed a certain number of levels of the setting, you'll unlock the next one that you can play. So the first one is the village, and then you can unlock the graveyard, and they play very differently. It also takes a bit of time to unlock the second setting. You need to beat about 4 levels, so it does take time kind of getting through those. The second way to progress is to earn coins that can be used to purchase different upgrades from 4 different trees. These might unlock new kings to players, new council members, passive buffs, or new structures to use. Unlocking new kings changes the game almost completely. You'll have a different gaze shape, you'll have different upgrades, their own unique abilities and passives, which makes every run feel even more unique when you're trying different things out. Overall, the game is a super unique design. Sometimes when you get these kingdom management or civilization building games, they just have a couple of concepts that are different, but overall feel like reskins of other games. The King is Watching, it feels like a completely fresh game to me. Just the overall balance of every mechanic, but also the core design of the king being required to watch for the structures to work is super interesting, and it creates a fun dynamic between planning ahead and trying to manage short-term unit or resource needs. So what could be improved? When I first started playing, there were things that I wish were better, like being able to focus on generating certain resources or unit types. But I noticed the more I played, the easier it was to manage these. It was either I got better at playing the game, or the kings actually helped me to generate the resources when I needed them. However, there were some small quality of life changes that I still think should be added. First one is that when you get the building upgrade reward, you get to pick between 3 different options, but this includes upgrades to buildings that you've either removed or have deleted the blueprints for, meaning that sometimes you're forced to recycle or refresh, losing some of the value of the upgrade. I think it'd be cool if they either gave you the option to store it so you didn't have to make your choice, or if it just didn't show those buildings that hadn't been removed or you didn't have a blueprint for anymore. Now, secondly, when you have a large number of units, so different types of units, not 5 of the same, but let's say 15 of different types of units in your barracks, you can't actually see them all and then manage them. So there was a time where I was trying to go through and essentially say, hey, I want to put in my assassin and I want to take out this one. I couldn't actually see the assassin on the screen, and it made it really hard for me to actually go for an ability that I was trying to get on one of the specific kings. So it's a bit of a UI change that would be nice to see happen, but it's also in a bit of an edge case where you can have lots of different types of units. Otherwise, everything else felt really well polished in the game. So for the verdict, should you download or delete? I'm going to say this is a must download if you enjoy any type of strategic thinking game or potentially even roguelikes. It has to be one of the most addictive games I've scanned so far and one that I will definitely continue playing regularly. So if this looks like something you're interested in, make sure you go check out the Steam page and see if you'll be as addicted as I am. So that's this game scan complete. Time for me to go back to playing because I really just want it. That's all I want to do at the moment. Anyway, catch you guys in the next scan.